Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have not done a final order cutoff video in a while, and this one's going to be a pre-recorded one, but I want to do this because there's a lot of books that have been kind of MIA for a little while that are on FOC this week. So I want to bring attention to those, and as well as a couple other books that I like to highlight that are on FOC this week. So it's going to be an abbreviated look through the previews catalog, but we are going to still scroll through the previews catalog like I usually do when I've done FOC. So we're going to get into that. New setup here, change my desk around. So still working on the wall here, fill in a couple more books, but lots of cool things on the wall behind me right now. So we're going to talk about what is on here for the indie books. We're going to focus on the previews catalog this week for FOC, talk about some Image, Dark Horse, some Boom, and then everybody that's in that last section. So that's going to be our Aftershock Vault, Second Sight Publishing, which is the big one that's on FOC this week. We got some Behemoth on FOC this week. We got Clover Press. There's something I want to highlight there. A couple different publishers that maybe you're not seeing in the catalog usually. We're going to look at those. So stay tuned, and we are going to get to that right after this. All right, so here we are in the previews catalog for every week. Orders are due Monday, so that excludes, Marvel. Marvel is not on FOC on Monday. If your shop orders through previews, if they order through Diamond, they are still on Monday. And then Lunar, like we've talked about before, is due on Sunday. So we're not going to talk about this because this video is posting on Sunday. So let's take a look through Image real quick. There's a couple new series that are going to issue 2 that I wanted to highlight real quick. Bolero, issue number 2 here. This one from Wyatt Kennedy and Luana Vecchio. Art in this is stunning. Very intriguing story going on here with good LGBTQ representation going on in this story. And this dimensional door opening key idea and going into these different alternate universes is very cool. It's interesting that it's limited to a certain number of jumps and then you're kind of done. You can't go back to your own universe. So really cool concept going on with this story. So issue 2 is on FOC this week. So if you haven't checked this one out, I highly recommend going and picking up. It is a larger book, each issue. So $5.99 price tag, but it's square bound is how I remember seeing it. So issue 2 on FOC, there is a cover B for it as well by Brandon Graham. And I don't remember if there were any other covers here. There are not. Homesick Pilots came back. Issue 11 just came out this last week. Issue 12 on FOC. There's a Michael Dialinis variant cover here as well, which is pretty cool. Ice Cream Man trade paperback for volume 1. So if you're looking to catch up and read Ice Cream Man, here's your chance. And it's got the Dr. Seuss parody variant on it. Another big one that I really enjoyed was Joe Hill's Reign. Number 2 is on FOC this week. Issue 1 came out not this last new comic book day, but the one before. Joe Hill, of course, wrote the original story as a novella, and David Boer has adapted it for the comics. And we've got really great art from Zoe Thorogood, and just this whole concept of these like nails falling from the sky and just killing everybody who's outside is just so crazy. Lots of horror being brought into that, but I feel like some emotional trauma and such going on as well. Really enjoying though the artwork inside of this. So that's issue 2 of Joe Hill Reign on FOC this week, and there's a couple variants. There's a cover B by Elizabeth Beals. This, of course, is the new Zizigi. I'm probably Syzygy. I probably said it wrong. Imprint of Image, and so that's a pretty cool thing too. 125 here by Renee DeLise and Ray Dillon is really cool with the the raven there going and plucking out eyes. And then there's a 1 in 50. That's a black and white sketch of the cover A. So lots of cool covers for this. I don't think there was a 1 in 100. There's not. So that one really excited about. I know a lot of people are loving King Spawn. Me, You Love in the Dark is getting its trade paperback. So if you're waiting for that, now's your chance. Primordial is ending with issue 6 here. Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, number 5 on here. I know some people have been really enjoying it. I couldn't get past issue 3. Wasn't for me. Silver Coin, number 9. Still going. It became an ongoing after a couple issues, and I know some people have been really enjoying that one as well. If you've been reading Radiant Black, you need to get this one. Super massive. It's a one-shot, and I think my computer just froze there. There we go. It is a one-shot within that world, and it's a crossover event. We are going to get the Image Comics debut of Inferno Girl Red in the first appearance of Rogue Sun, future of Image's superhero universe. So Kyle Higgins, Ryan Parrott, Matt Groom all writing on this. Francesco Mana and Igor Monti doing artwork inside. It is looking like it's going to be really cool. So there's Radiant Black, Inferno Girl Red, and Rogue Sun. Here's some of the interiors right here. I backed the Kickstarter for Inferno Girl Red. I haven't gotten my Kickstarter for Inferno Girl Red yet. I think that's coming in the summer. So I'm going to get introduction to Inferno Girl Red here in Supermassive before that Kickstarter comes out. We do have a variant here. Marcelo Costa, Abel, and Erica D'Urso doing the artwork here. And looks like, yeah, all 3 of their signatures there. And then I'm sure there's got to be some ratios, right? 1 in 25, Greg Capullo, Jonathan Glapian, and Marcelo Costa here, each doing parts of that cover, and 1 in 50 version of that right there. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited for this new superhero universe being created. And what else, Radiant Black still got a lot of things going on in its own universe. But if now we've got these 3 other universes of characters coming together for a supermassive crossover, this should be interesting. Time Before Time on to issue number 10. The last one in Image that I'm really excited about reading is What's the Furthest Place from Here? Matthew Rosenberg, Tyler Boss. It is now a normal-sized 4th issue. They've been doing triple and then double-sized issues. So we're down to normal-sized for issue number 4. But I think now we're down to the normal price. Actually, we probably were at the normal price for the double-size, but that's okay. It's been such an awesome story so far, and I can only imagine this continuing to be an incredible read. Of course, we've got some variants here. Ryan Stegman doing a cover B variant, and records being a big part of our main group of characters. It's like they're gods, essentially. 1 in 15 variant here, which I believe is part of the map variants, which I thought were 1 in 25 on some of the other issues. This time 1 in 25 is this Brian Level variant. They might have decreased the number of ratios, but no, there's a 1 in 50 here from Erica Henderson. So it's intriguing. Yeah, and a 1 per store version here of the record variant. So each store can only get 1. So the prices on those are pretty high, and making them a little bit more collectible, especially because it is a record. So all you records collectors that are out there, and comic collectors as well, that's probably the one you want to pick up. So moving into Dark Horse, just one thing I wanted to highlight is Cloaked. It was supposed to be The Icon originally and changed the name to Cloaked. This is from the creator of The Mask. And we've got a costume vigilante crime fighter, and kind of they're investigating what happened to him. Why did he disappear? So this investigator gets hired for that. he interviews the costume crime fighter's sidekick, and some stuff goes down after that interview. I am still waiting on issue 2. My shop didn't get cover A, and they'd sold out of the cover B, so they're waiting on cover A still to arrive from this last week. So I will soon find out what happens in issue 2. Here's a quick look at IDW. The big one, I think, is Canto, Lionhearted, issue 6 of 6. Of course, David Brewer writing this one as well. He's going all around. Drew Zucker on the art. This is the end of the Canto Lionhearted series, so Canto 3 series. 1 in 10 here from Will Stahly is pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, we've got G.I. Joe, we've got some Dungeons and Dragons, we got Turtles and Transformers and Usagi Yojimbo as well. I did hear G.I. Joe and Transformers will be leaving IDW. I don't remember if they said where they're going, but they will. Those properties will no longer be at IDW. Of course, we're not talking about DC. We're not talking about Marvel. We are focused on the indie comics. Dynamite, I usually don't talk about too much, but as always, there's been these Rose Besh covers popping up now on several series, NYX being one of them. This looks like an homage to Excalibur, I think. That's what that's reminding me of. So that's pretty cool too. But yeah, Rose Besh art for those of you that like it. We got some TMNT homages as well that Dynamite's been doing. So there's some collectability in covers from that respect. I have not been reading any of the stories, but I've been hearing decent things about some of these new ones they've got coming out. Over at Boom, those of you that are collecting all the covers for House of Slaughter, issue number 3 is getting a second print with a Nick Robles cover here. This story has been great. I'm really enjoying seeing more of Aaron Slaughter's story and what's going on with him and Jace and what that really meant for the House of Slaughter and maybe the broader implications for what's going on as we are headed back towards issue 21 of Something is Killing the Children coming up in March. It's now been, I think it's in the previous catalog. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Regarding the Matter of Oswald's Body is on issue number 4 of 5 on FOC. Christopher Cantwell and Luca Castellanguida. I've really been enjoying this story. Very fascinating take on the story about JFK's assassination and kind of adding more conspiracy to it, I guess. So that's what we got going on here. Issue 3 that just came out this week was fantastic. So now we're heading into the comics and graphics novels section, which of course is the section where we have a lot of other publishers. Ablaze is one I didn't mention before that should be noted here as well, because Animal Castle's been fantastic. Issue 3 on FOC, this adaptation and kind of reinterpretation of Animal Farm is really cool. I'm really enjoying this. This is an awesome cover here. We see Miss B standing up to the president. Things that they've had going on in this is really cool. The art is phenomenal. Felix Dellup is doing an excellent job on the art for this. We have a black and white wraparound cover B on this one. I may actually thinking about doing that. That one. 1 in 10 version of cover A is pretty cool. And then version wrap around of that cover B is the 1 in 20. It's pretty standard for Ablaze to do that. And then a black and white 1 in 30. I don't usually do too many different covers, but those covers are pretty cool. So we've got issue 3 of Animal Castle. Story is excellent. Yeah. So moving on, we're going to see a lot of Second Sight publishing books on FOC. So these books were originally supposed to come out last year. I don't know what happened with production, maybe distribution, and the paper shortage. Everything really hit them hard, but we can talk about these books now. I have some of these reviewed already up on youpromisedmecomics.com, so go check that out. Links down in the description. Athena, I have not done a review for yet, but some of these other ones that we will come across later on, I have, or have at least checked them out, and I really think all of them are excellent stories. It's just been sad they haven't been coming out yet. Larry Jarrell and Rod Espinoza doing Athena. We got a one-shot here that is about a woman that's endured her immortal existence of a blood curse for the past 3,000 years. A curse placed upon her by her own family. She has been banished to an island of monsters and magic that is hidden from the world to live out her existence. That is until the outside world comes crashing in and she discovers there's more beyond the veil that holds her captive. Super cool story idea. And we've got some dragons in the background here. So one, I think cool to check out. It's a one shot, not much commitment to the story, but it seems like an intriguing idea there. Scrolling down, let's see what else we got on here. We got some Vault Blue Flame #7. Christopher Cantwell as well. We've talked about him writing already. Here's one from Clover Press that I think people should be reading is Cassidy's Secret. So issue 4 on FOC. Issue 3 must be coming out this week or so. Charles Holland is the head writer and executive producer of the Black Lightning TV series, and he is the writer of this story. Antonio Fuso does the art, which I'm really enjoying. He's a co-creator of Weird Word, which I think was a Dark Horse series. The idea here being we had this kind of this alien crashed Earth, kind of Superman-like, but he ended up spreading a virus throughout Earth that gave some people superpowers. It killed some people, I believe, as well. So there's a little bit of, I think the Resistance world from AWA has a little bit of that as well. But he mysteriously dies, and now we have the story. Really, it's about the lawyer that was kind of with him, kind of not, kind of looking into what happened, who killed him, or did somebody kill him? They say imagine suits and set in the world of the boys, and that is Cassidy's Secret. So that tagline got me intrigued, and I started reading it, and I've enjoyed the first 2 issues of it so far. The cover B's not revealed on here, but they've been pretty decent as well. Source Point's got some books on here. Christmas Caroline Annual #1. Garrett Gunn and Christina Blanche doing the writing. I believe those are our writers of Good Boy as well. So that looks pretty cool. A little murdering of elves going on. I don't know if this was supposed to happen around Christmas time or not, or if it's just a year-round comic. We also have Cover of Darkness #2. I believe I have Cover of Darkness on my pool list. Issue 1 hasn't come out yet. But a gorilla fights a freaking werewolf, a mummified Egyptian pharaoh seeks revenge on his generals, and a mother desperately searches for her family. Seems like that could be an intriguing issue there. And here's the mummy, looks like, or mummified Egyptian pharaoh there, right? So that's something from Source Point there. We've got Crimson Cage #3 from AWA Upshot. If you're into wrestling and Macbeth, Crimson Cage. I believe it's also, I found out after the fact, set in New Orleans, which is pretty cool. Moving on, some Vault. Got Dark Interlude #3. So this is part, I believe, of the their vampire world, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong though. Yeah, I thought that's what that was, but maybe there was some winter or something. So this might be something different. I have not checked out this series yet. But we have Oni Press book here, Dirtbag Rapture, issue #5. I don't remember, but I thought this was a 5 or 6 issue series from Christopher Sabella Ed Good and Gab Contreras. But I've been enjoying this kind of like good versus evil afterlife battle, but there's really not a heaven and hell. It's just souls taking on those embodiments of angels and devils, but neither are super great. Let's see what else we got here. So here's another one of the Second Sight books. Forsaken, #1, from Sebastian Suarez, Francisco Peronazzini, and Max Fiumara. London, 1883, for Vita and Gedmintus and the Order of the Golden Lance. What begins as another magically fueled murder investigation soon turns into a race against time to prevent a dark wizard from summoning Abaddon, the Angel of Death, to our realm. So this one, I believe this was one of the ones I've read, but I might not have put in a review yet, but it's phenomenal. Really great. The cover B here is super cool from Paulina Ganeshu. Really cool cover there. I'm going to come back to Freak Snow here in a second because I want to cover these two books as well. These two covers for the same book. This is the Freak Show Kingdom series from Jonathan Hedrick and David Galliano. Art by Ben Worrell, Stefano Cardacelli, and Gino Casmayanto. Carlos Villas doing this cover here. And so Jonathan Hedrick created a zombie universe, and it's a collection of 3 one-shots: Freak Show Princess, Freak Show Knight, and Freak Show Jester. I've read Princess and Knight, but not Jester, so I'm excited to get this all collected and check this out. Super cool cover there. And the cover B from Stefano Cardacelli is also phenomenal. I really love his watercolor art style here, and kind of going a little abstract sometimes with pieces. It's great. So he does art on at least one of the stories, maybe 2. And I'm really enjoying it. So he will also come up here in a second, but can't forget this here. Behemoth Comics, Freak Snow. Sorry, I just said Freak Show. Freak Snow, Revenge is a Drug. Kevin Rodatelli, Rob Cannon, the awesome minds behind this. And this is a wild story. I would recommend also checking out the first Freak Snow volume that came at before Freak Snow Revenge is a Drug. It adds a little bit more to this story, I feel like, but you don't need it to really love how wild and crazy this story is. It breaks what a comic should be. And that's what we really need more of in comics, is just not the same old, but people going outside the box, going to new levels with the comics. So if you missed out on the single issues, get the trade. You will not regret checking that one out. Clover also has Great Gatsby going on, comic adaptation. It's on to issue #5 here. Moving forward, here's some more Second Sight. So we're going to talk about these. Horn Island Trilogy. So this is a trilogy. Again, 3 stories played out in a single issue. This one I do have a review for on youpromisemecomics.com. Marcus Roberts does an excellent job with the writing on the story. We have art by Daniel Gorman on the interiors and Stefano Cardacelli doing the cover here. There is another cover. This is the cover B by Daniel Gorman, it looks like. And so there's a little bit of, I guess, a taste of some of the art style on the interiors. It's pretty intriguing story. Trilogy about zombie apocalypse in Mississippi and kind of different generations of this, I guess, family curse going on. So pretty cool. Ironhead is a one-shot written and drawn by Stefano Cardacelli. It's very emotional story and a very different kind of horror. I feel like it's good battles going on, lots of cool things going on in this. And this one is on the website as well. There's a review going on, and they do actually say it's actually not supposed to be a horror. It is second verse. So that's more of the fantasy sci-fi stories within Second Sight Publishing. But I felt like there was a little bit of emotional horror going on in this story, which I definitely appreciate. And so Cardicelli also did cover B on this, both really cool covers. So I was going to go back to this real quick because it says in shops February 16th. So finally should be getting these out, which is awesome. Awesome to see. Going over to something from AWA Upshot, we have Knighted, issue number 4 of 5. Greg Hurwitz, Mark Teixeira, and Brian Reber putting out this story. I didn't pick this up originally, and then I picked up issue 1 and 2 on a light week because I wanted to check it out, and I loved it. So then issue 3 came out the next week. I picked that up. Loving reading this story. Really cool take on the vigilante type story, and it's set in the resistance world where there's a lot of people with superpower. So we've got a vigilante working in that type of situation and trying to take down some pretty bad guys that I guess the former knight maybe had understanding with, and they didn't fight each other. So former knight is kind of a bad guy. Aftershock's got something coming out called Lion and Eagle from Garth Ennis, PJ Holden, and Tim Bradstreet. It's an oversized prestige format miniseries. So all of these will be in a magazine size. And I actually don't know too much about this, but we know Garth Ennis writes a lot of good stories. The Boys, Preacher, Dreaming Eagles, also Marjorie Finnegan recently. So great writer, so probably a great story coming from him. Also Aftershock, Maniac of New York, Bronx is Burning, number 3 out. And we have a Robert Hack variant here that looks pretty cool. That has to be a movie homage variant. Shoot, I may have to get that. But yeah, this has still been a pretty cool story from Elliot Kalin and Andrea Moody. Just fantastic. I was a little disappointed with how the first series ended because I wanted a solid end to the Maniac, but now I'm kind of happy because I'm enjoying the Bronx is Burning story. So a little bit less disappointed in the first volume because of that. Moving on, we have some Behemoth stuff here. 9 Stones on to issue 7. Fantastic. I've really been enjoying this. It was a topless webcomic originally, and Behemoth decided to put it out in individual comics. So really enjoying this crazy story we got going on here. And another one, of course, you guys know, Nobody's Child. Absolutely love this. This one from Massimo Rossi and Ramiro Barallo. It's the last issue of the series that's on FOC. I think issue 5's not out yet, so 5 may be coming out this coming week. I'll have to check that out. But this story about protecting Sabium, the last of the certain type of rhinoceros that's being hunted because it has the ability to cure anything in human beings, but they've essentially brought these rhinoceros to extinction, and this guy decides that it's his duty to protect this last rhino. And we had a variant for this series come out with Anna Shadowcat doing the art. So that we did that for issue number 1, but now we're on to issue 6 of the series, and I'm sad it's going to end, but excited to see how it all wraps up. Not All Robots. If you missed this is a fantastic series that Mark Russell wrote. Mike Deodato Jr. did the art. Raza did some of the covers, which were phenomenal. And I got to meet Mark Russell at Fan Expo New Orleans. Really cool person to meet in person, and it was a great way to meet him because the con was not super large, and so it was easy to talk with him for a little bit. But yeah, Not All Robots. If you missed the single issues, go check out the trade paperback. You will not regret getting that. Another one here from Second Sight. It's called Origin. And this one, I don't think I've read yet. And I need to because I always thought this looked like a really cool story. Bradley Golden, the CEO of Second Sight, writing this one with Glidson Ribeiro on the art. Head of a medical technology company, Stephen Gedian, is dying from brain cancer, sends a research team up the Shishapangma mountain, looking for a cure only to be met by a mythical demon. And I mean, we got a little bit of a Cthulhu-like thing going on here, which is pretty cool. But honestly, I want to say, choose between the covers. This cover is just creepy and phenomenal, and I'm here for it. So that is phenomenal. Carlos Villas doing that cover just killed it. Absolutely killed it. Crazy ass cover. Love it. But yeah, I still recommend, even though I haven't read that one, I would recommend looking and getting that one. Tell your store you want to order it for FOC. Another series that's been a good, creepy story. C. Spurrier, Nathan Gooden writing and drawing Rush. The Rush #4 from Vault Comics. This is getting interesting. We've got some crazy stuff going on in this story. Issue 3 just came out this last week, and I am here for this gold rush story that set in like the Yukon territory, somewhere north, and this lady trying to find her son, but there's just clearly some creepy stuff going on outside of the camp, and it's leading to some people dying, some beasts that need to be hunted down potentially. So cool story. Martin Simmons has been doing cover Bs for this story as well. So if you love Martin Simmons' art from the Department of Truth, you'll love these covers that they've got going on, and it's perfect because he does a great creepy art style. Next up, Source Point Press, second place, number 3 of 4. I'm not as familiar with this story from Source Point. And then Second Sight Publishing, Silence, issue #1. Evan Pozios and Alex Sanchez doing this. This is a great story as well. After suffering a life-threatening medical event, former comic book superstar Stanley Kane seeks to regain his health in the remote town of Silence, Michigan. Will the accidental discovery of a mystical amulet galvanize his return to comic book glory, or will it lead him down a dark path from which he never can escape? And it starts out, honestly, and I'm like, am I going to like this book? And it just goes real dark. And I love that. I love that kind of like switch between kind of, a normal sounding story, and then suddenly some event happens, and we see some more going on in this town of Silence, Michigan. And this is a really cool cover of him, drawing and stuff. So I recommend checking out both of these. Michael Golden is the artist on this cover, actually. So Michael Golden, if that's the Michael Golden that did help co-create Rogue, I believe. So that's pretty cool. And then for me, this is I don't know. I love all of the books that I've talked about from Second Sight, but this is the book I feel like. These Damn Kids, #1 of 3. This one from Bradley Golden and Peter Bro. Helmut Racho on the art. And it is so creepy. This one has a review on youpromisemecomics.com. Super creepy. There is, if you just scroll through like this right here, These Damn Kids, this right here just creeps me out. The gore in this story is phenomenal. The creepiness, it's everything that you could want. This is, I believe this is related to another story that Bradley Golden did. It might be, I think it's a prequel to that story. So there may be some characters that are going between the two stories, but it's solely by itself in terms of what's happening right now in the town. And there's a cover B here that I believe is supposed to be a foil Originally, that's what it was stated as. I don't know if it's still going to be, but either way, the black and white cover is pretty cool. Jonathan Lau doing that cover. But yeah, small town Vicksburg, Mississippi. Children are acting strange. Been reports of parents being attacked by the very children they raised. Some have even gone to school to try and kill teachers and faculty. Town sheriff has brought in a young rookie cop to try to figure out what is causing these kids to do that. Highly recommend these damn kids. Go get it. Tell your shop that you want to order it. Tell them to order a lot of them because it is creepy story, very much worth your time. Switching gears to something less creepy, We Ride Titans #2 is on FOC this week from Tradin and Sebastian Perez. Absolutely loved issue #1 of this series. I mean, we've got kaiju, we've got giant robots, and we've got some family drama, and it's great. Yeah, lots of first issue I think had more focus on the family drama piece, and but that was important to establish and bring in one of the characters to take over the role of piloting the giant robot. And we got a little bit of kaiju versus robot action, which was pretty cool. So lots going on in this story. Highly recommend it. Sebastian Perez's art is phenomenal. And so far, I'm enjoying the writing by Tradin. So another one I would recommend. Hickson cover B here as well. No art yet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. There's Wolvenheart from Mad Cave. I've heard great things about. I have not gotten to read it, unfortunately, yet. But I plan on reading Volume 1 at some point here in the future. Yuki versus Panda, I've heard good things about as well. It's from Source Points on to issue #7. So that is all here on the FOC that I wanted to highlight from our indie comics. These orders to your shop are due Monday, January 24th. So go let your shop know which ones of those that you want to order and get those orders in. So thanks everybody for watching. This is a briefer version of FOC. It's pre-recorded, but I wanted to do this week because there were some things on there that I really wanted to talk about and let you guys know about. So don't miss out on those books because FOC is the last time that you can guarantee that you're going to get these books, or your shop's going to be able to get these books for you. And after that point, there's no guarantee. So don't wait till the week of and get FOMO. Order your books when you hear about a story that you're interested in reading. So that's it for me for this FOC video. As always, collect what you love, and I'll see you guys next time.